Lolly-ho! Dipper's back with another reaction video for the male loser epidemic. If you're new to my channel and you like what you see, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below.
Hello again, friends. Sorry I've been gone for quite a bit. Hopefully nothing too crazy happened. I feel like every time I take a break, like, a war breaks out or something, but thankfully that did not happen. But at least we found out the real Epstein files were the friends we made along the way.
Epstein client list doesn't exist. Justice Department says. Walking back theory Bondi has had promoted. Yeah, okay. Just a heads up for anyone who's new to my channel. I am not heavily, involved in political matters, so a lot of information might go over my head. Yes, I am ignorant. Politics stress me out. But some of the last videos that Shoe0nHead did that was related about female views or male views, I usually try to keep track of those things, because I can somewhat understand what's going on. Somewhat.
Welcome back to the Shoe0nHead channel. If it is your first time here, run. I am Shoe0nHead, and on this channel I like to cover cultural issues, mostly surrounding men's issues. It's what I've been doing for over a decade, and frankly, I'm exhausted. Many of you have been along for the ride, and you have seen me go from a chipper, lively 24-year-old making fun of BuzzFeed and Tumblr feminists, to a bitter, calloused 34-year-old talking about very real and growing men's issues. One of the main men's issues I have been covering
when you're talking about something that upsets you for a long period of time, it's gonna mess with your head. I don't know if she does enjoy it or she just feels like she's comfortable because this is what she's known for, but she does a good job relaying the problems that people don't really show a lot of light in a humorous manner.
In great detail lately has been the male loneliness epidemic. Yeah, but turns out I was wrong. We don't have a male loneliness epidemic. We have a male loser epidemic. It's not a male loneliness epidemic. No, it's a male mediocrity epidemic. It's a male loser epidemic.
I heard that it's a Darwinism epidemic happening right now. Saying it out loud makes me sad. Because what if we're actually slowly heading towards idiocracy? I've only seen bits and pieces of it, but if you guys have, seen the movie or know about the plot of the movie where it's a bunch of idiots that are just horn dogs getting together and just mass producing more idiots, I fear the future, and I pray the AI lords that will be lording over us give us some mercy.
The male loser epidemic has gotten so bad that it's honestly so pathetic at this point.
Now, I don't always talk about men's issues. No, sometimes I talk about politics, and sometimes I mix the two together. Now, I know a lot of you don't like politics, you don't care about politics, but politics cares about you, and it will enter your life no matter how hard you try to avoid it. But thankfully, I have the perfect app to help you navigate this difficult, confusing political landscape. So let's quickly give a shout out to today's sponsor, Ground News, before we get into this video, shall we? Ground News is a website and an app that gives readers a fun—
I've been hearing a lot about this app from many other content creators that are diving into political content. I feel like there's been a rise in political content lately. Is it just me? No?
Fun and transparent way to read the news from all across the political spectrum.
From both
sides.
left,
right, and center.
Yep.
Every story comes with a quick visual breakdown of the political bias, ownership, and headlines that helps you understand the full story and make sure you're getting both sides. One of my favorite features from Ground News has to—
I love this look! She looks so cute! Oh, so classy looking.
Features from Ground News has to be the blind spot feature, which shows you news stories that have been covered by only one side of the political spectrum and ignored by the other. For example, here is a story about how the CIA uncovered a Russiagate fraud, and right away we can see how it has been covered by 41 sources, and out of those 41 sources, 93% of them lean right, with only 2 left-wing outlets reporting the story. Ground News also makes it really easy to compare headlines to see just how political bias can affect the framing of a story. For example, this story about Zohran Mamdani winning the Democratic primary in New York. This left-leaning outlet says, Zohran Mamdani's win just got a little sweeter. And meanwhile, the right-wing outlet says, meet Zohran Mamdani, the man who will ruin New York. As you can see, very different vibes. I have been using Ground News since 2021 because I think it is so informative, so fun, and it helps me see how different stories are framed so differently, and I love it. I highly recommend it. It's one of the few apps that I wake up and just immediately check. But don't just take my word for it. Even the Nobel—
I feel like the news is slowly turning into a biased gossip rather than reporting the facts alone. Like there's someone who's like literally trying to twist the story, the narrative, to the way that they want the viewers to look at it, if you know what I mean. Can't we just have our news be just, you know, frank in what's going on without any kind of opinion on it? Like, this is what's happening, XYZ. Alright.
Peace Center called it an excellent way to stay informed, avoid echo chambers, and expand your worldview. High praise. Best of all, I am currently offering 40% off their Vantage plan, which is the plan I use to access all of their amazing features. This comes out to only like $5 a month, which is like the price of a coffee. So go to ground.news/shoe or use the QR code right there on screen, or the link in the video description down there to subscribe to Ground News today. I feel like what they're doing is really important, especially right now, and it helps us approach the news in a more fair and balanced way. So thank you to Ground News for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad. Right? Now, let's get back to the video. With all these issues men are facing, they seem to be moving to the right and the Republicans more, since the left and Democrats have essentially just become the young men eat and die movement. Months ago, I covered how the Democratic Party was losing young men, and I predicted Kamala Harris would lose in part because of young men overwhelmingly voting for Trump. And I was correct. Well, now the Democrats have unveiled their final solution to the right-wing male loser epidemic. Democrats spending millions to learn how to speak to American men and win back the working class. Democrats have blown millions of dollars on efforts to appeal to American men who turned to President Donald Trump in droves on Election Day in hopes of winning back the working class. Democrats have spent $20 million on their efforts, with donors and strategists holing up in luxury hotel rooms, brainstorming how to convince working class men to return to the party. Ah yes, nothing more relatable to working class men than luxury hotel rooms. Great job, guys. The plan? Codename Sam, or Speaking with American Men, a strategic plan, promises to use the funds to study the syntax, language, and content that gains attention and virality in these spaces. The effort also recommends Democrats buy advertisement in video games, among other things.
Hold on, what? The efforts also recommend Democrats buy advertisements in video games? Leave the gaming community alone, please! Ah! I've seen some of the latest design choices on how women look, and I'm like in shock sometimes. I'm like, what happened here? What is going on? Look, I enjoy looking at sexy looking guys and sexy looking women. Just sexy looking people just look nice. They're appealing to the eyes. Ugh, please, no more. Don't use video games as a messaging system. Please don't.
Recommends Democrats buy advertisement in video games, among other things. The Democratic Party is treating young men like exotic animals they're studying. Now, as you can see here is the young man in his natural habitat, in a dark, messy cave surrounded by Taco Bell wrappers and empty Mountain Dew bottles. Here is another young man, as you can see, also dwelling in a dark cave. This one has dyed his hair blue to scare off potential predators. Unfortunately, it also scares off potential—
Please don't use male streamers that they represent the majority of males. Please don't. Oh, I hope this is a joke. This has to be a joke.
potential mates, but moving on, here is another young man. We think we're not quite sure about this one. We're still studying it. Listen, Democrats, instead of spending $20 million to do that stupid maybe you should, I don't know, actually listen to men. I listen to men for free.
You know, it's crazy that they're trying to figure out men and spending $20 million when we have a lot of, of students, like over 40%, maybe 50% even, of illiterate students kids that are aged 9 and 10 that still can't read. I think that's a real big problem. Wait, I hate how we spend our money sometimes. It's crazy. Yeah, this is what Shoe0nHead says. Oh, just listen to them. They're already saying what the problem is. They can actually verbalize and tell you what's wrong. Just listen.
All the time. All I have to do is read my comment section. Let's see here.
Oh, okay.
Shoe0nHead is a perfect example of why we need to repeal the 19th. Greetings
19th?
from Albania. I hate women so much, it's unreal.
Ah!
Ooh, shoo, mommy, milkies, 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 mommy, mommy, mommy. One time I got my penis stuck in a soda bottle.
Maybe Shoe's comments is not a best place to research on.
Okay, on second thought, maybe my comment section is not the best source.
As Trump scored big with young male voters last election, Democrats are spending $20 million to learn how to speak their language. I think it's a waste of money. Maybe these guys should spend their money on teaching.
How do they not? They have guys in the office with them in the Democratic Party. How are they not spelling it out to them? What's going on? How are they that out of touch?
Men to not be such sexists. Maybe that's
But the
it.
stats don't bear that out now that
Wait,
look at
what?
young women.
Hold on.
I think it's a waste of money. Maybe these guys should spend their money on teaching men to not be such sexists. Maybe that's
But the
it.
stats don't bear that out now that
Like, it's completely one-sided. Let's face it. People are being sexist on both sides of the party. It's a no-brainer. People will find something to hate about each other. The day we live in a world where people don't complain about each other is the day I don't believe the world exists anymore.
Look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash.
Oh.
It's not their fault the way the economy is so effed up these days. And honestly, I think if those guys are staying at home and it's their way of saving up money before they actually buy property, then that's a smart move rather than going out, living on their own, renting, wasting money they could have saved rather than just giving it away.
Oh no. The very night I was sitting on my couch writing the script to my video about how the Democrats are spending $20 million to relate to young men, this came on my TV on Fox News. A Tommy Lahren and Laura Ingraham segment about stay-at-home sons, men who still live at home. Literally minutes after this aired, it went absolutely viral on Twitter for not good reasons. So we are going to unpack this piece by piece. Because even though everyone was mocking it and making fun of it, as far as I saw, nobody was really dissecting it and breaking down exactly why she was so egregiously wrong. So come join.
This is a very American thing. This is such an American thing. Honestly, over in the other countries, staying with your family is kind of normal until you're find a significant other and move out.
Join me in debunking the male loser epidemic. Because who else better equipped to talk about men's issues than two stupid blonde bimbos? Hold on one second.
She gonna go blonde? Yeah!
3 stupid blonde bimbos. Sorry. I felt left out. Alright, let's go. Wait. I need my gamer fuel.
Monster.
See? I do drink it. That one's for you, Tectone.
It's a major problem. And you know, Speaker Johnson has been talking.
She's been coming up with what's going on with Tectone, and I gotta tell you, the shit that's going down with Tectone, it's bad. My god. I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna say he was getting bullied by Twitch and some Twitch streamers. It's ridiculous. I hope Twitch gets their shit together and stop the favoritism with toxic streamers.
It's a major problem. And you know, Speaker Johnson has been talking about those maybe deadbeat folks that are on Medicaid, and maybe some of those folks are the stay-at-home sons. We don't know. But I'll tell you this, leave it to Gen Z to rebrand laziness and social awkwardness as something cutesy, like a stay-at-home son. But Laura, I gotta tell you, this is also a big problem when it comes to, I think, declining birth rates, people not getting married and having children. You know, that's a big problem. They blame it on women. Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates and a lot of other problems in society. It's time to go out, get a job.
Wow, it has nothing to do with women. Absolutely nothing to do with women. Women have zero involvement for the declining birth rate. Absolutely zero involvement in this problem. It's all the men's fault. Men, get your shit together. Come on. Start earning those what is it? Those 6-digit salaries. Get it together. It's so easy. Just find a good, well-paying job. Not hard. And also, don't be awkward. And also, be super romantic. And also, don't forget to be a vampire and a werewolf when the full moon comes out. All right? Make sure you are having your 6-pack abs and 6-foot height going on. Not 6 foot, just pay for plastic surgery and make sure you're taller. Just fit the needs that women want. There's women out there. There's women out there that's getting plastic surgery done so they can get those D's on. I meant like D cups. Where am I going with this?
Breathe the fresh air, meet people in real life. Let's just get back to basics.
So first of all,
No! I will dwell behind the computer screen. I am a person that enjoys the company of animals over people. I will be that person that go to parties and try to find your cat or dog or whatever animal that you have in that house and be away from the crowd. They're just easier to be around.
this stay-at-home son thing is not a real thing. It was a random throwaway, self-deprecating joke some contestant on Jeopardy said. One guy, because I guess there's nothing else important going on that they could cover on the news. They literally made this into a fake phenomena so they can on young men. Meanwhile, Democrats are spending millions of dollars trying to win back young men. Oh no, the young men are leaving us in droves. How do we get them back? Don't worry, I got this. Hey, you fat, lazy, Cheeto dust-covered slobs, f you. Nice. Thanks. I love you. I love you too.
This is getting as toxic as Andy and Lele.
Want to traumatize the fuck out of a bunch of school kids?
No, you asshole! And if any of you guys came from my shorts, Godspeed. Godspeed. Don't dive too deep into the rabbit hole. I've already done it. I'm trying to find the fun clips that you can laugh at.
What do you want me to say? Yeah, baby, chain me up and shove a gun in my face. I deserve that shit. Thanks, this.
But yeah, for those of you who know about Andy and Lele, toxic relationship.
Is the amount of young men living home with their parents increasing? Yes. Is it because they're lazy bums and just want to order DoorDash all day? No. And also, they're not paying for DoorDash.
Maybe. What? Don't look at me like some people aren't lazy. I have a lazy ass woman living underneath me. Literally got her husband to move out because he couldn't stand her lazy ass. I feel so bad. Waiting for the divorcement to go through. He can't kick her out because he's married to her. She doesn't do nothing. So there are people who are just lazy and just want to have a sweet ride.
Tommy, they're financing it. Come on.
What's this? DoorDash partner with Klarna to allow U.S. customers to split purchases into 4 equal payments. Customer can also postpone payments to match their payday schedule. Oh. Yeah, try not to eat out too much though. Save money.
It. Come on, get with the times.
There are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash, and that's why we have declining birth rates. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air.
Have either of you tried applying for a job as a young man recently? Or tried buying a house on the salary of one of the—
But do you even know where people can meet now these days outside of being at a bar where people just want to have a one-night stand? Yeah, that's where you can get a real relationship most of the time. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. It's online dating, that's for sure. That came out way snarky than I wanted it to. But those of you who did find your significant other through a dating app or at a bar, awesome, good for you. But you know I'm not wrong that there are people out there that use it just for one-night stands, just to get a little touchy-touchy. Wink, wink. Wink.
These young men, have you experienced the dating market, been on the dating sites as a young man? No? Interesting, okay. Just wondering.
The other problem with trying to find a place to date, there isn't really much else where you can go pick up somebody. I mean, you can do it at a gym, but normally the gym says, hey, don't hit on anybody. And then there's also the workplace environment where it's also like, hey, don't hit on anybody. So we are slowly having no place to meet up with people for dating besides going to bars or something. But what about you guys? Where did you meet your significant other? I'm curious. And I'm hoping it worked out well.
Listen, I know the average age of a Fox News viewer is like 70 nowadays and you need to pander to them, but Tommy, you are like 2 years younger than me. You know this shit isn't true. Why are you talking like this? Why are you talking like a f***ing boomer? I'm sorry, I have no other word for this, but I hate this like generational pick-me shit. I was born in the wrong generation. I'm not like those other young people. And you know what? She's not like those other young people. Not all young people can afford a nice nose job and lip filler and get a cushy job on Fox News based entirely on merit, I'm sure. The main problem with this brain-dead boomer-ass take is not only is it cringe, but it's completely divorced from reality. This slop is specifically designed for people who paid like $5 for a f***ing house. And listen, not all boomers, okay? My parents are boomers.
Hold on, let me see. Holy crap. That is such a big gap. That is such an insane gap. I remember like before losing our home to the bank, I think it was around 200K or something like that, and was reselling it for close to $1 million.
$5 for a f***ing house. And listen, not all boomers, okay? My parents are boomers, they are lovely people. A lot of you guys are boomers, but when the baby boomer generation sends its people, it is not sending their best. They are not sending you. They're sending people who have lots of problems. They're bringing the housing crisis. They're bringing wage stagnation. They're falling for AI-generated photos on Facebook. But some, I assume, are good people. But my god, I truly believe they do not understand how good they had it. They could support a family on a single income. A single income from a job that didn't require a college degree. Their leaders didn't prostitute away their economic future for some cheap plastic shit from China. They inherited the greatest economy known to man. And they pretend it's a paradise that they earned. I just don't understand, like, why don't boomers and spiritual boomers like Tommy Lauren see people struggling and go, wow, I wish I could fix this. They should have it better than I had it. And you wonder why so many millennials and zoomers don't want kids. I want to make the world a better place for my children. I want to make the world a better place for my children. Ugh. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you spoiled brat. Children. Not happening.
Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men.
Young men are becoming lazy.
We need to do something about the economy, and it needs to get fixed!
Lazy because they're becoming feminized. So they're becoming lazy because they act more like women? What did she mean by this, chat? I know there's like a decrease in testosterone or something happening, but men are moving right-wing all over the world. Does that correlate with the feminization? Or, I mean, there are suspiciously a lot of far-right femboys, so maybe. But here's the thing, Tammy. There is absolutely no evidence that young women want to start families more than young men. None. In fact, all the data says the exact opposite. According to Pew Research, 64% of women younger than 50 say they just don't want to have children. No reason, they just don't want them. Versus 50% of men who say the same. Another study by Archbridge Institute shows the same. 63% of women without children said they have no desire to have a child, while only 50% of men said the same. For men,
It's just a different culture in general. Like, women's role were more known for being a housewife, make babies. Some people don't desire that. Some people desire just like having the time spent to themselves traveling or saving their money so they can live a little well rather than being on the poor side of living with struggling, trying to feed not only their mouths but their children's mouths. And sometimes some people just end up growing up way faster and earlier with the responsibility of taking care of like their sibling if they're like the oldest, and they're just like, well, don't want to go through that again. There can be multiple reasons why people don't want kids.
and the most commonly cited factor was personal finance. But among women, the strongest reason not to have a child was their desire to maintain their personal independence. Basically, they don't want to give up their brunch and mimosas. They've been ass blasted with propaganda their whole lives, telling them their lives will be ruined, their bodies will be ruined, they'll never have fun again, they'll be miserable forever if they have children. And as someone who has had a children, best decision I've ever made. 10/10, highly recommend, would do it again. But yes, this idea that men are the ones primarily responsible for the low birth rates is laughable. We're laughing over here. But honestly, it's not really women or men's fault. There are a lot of factors that play into this. But Tommy, I really gotta ask, is it men or is it you?
This is gonna be the summer of canceling boys. All of my friends are attractive. All of my friends are successful. All of my friends have something going on. Almost every single one of them have an issue with men. But if all of these women, including myself, are having issues, then I have to think, it might not be us. It might be you. It is not just the guys in Los Angeles, Nashville, Dallas, and they're not any better in the Midwest. Quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country.
My friends are successful. Men don't give a shit about that. They'd marry a Walmart cashier if she was nice to them.
I think
Considering that the neighbor downstairs married a crack addict, yeah. Men aren't too picky from what I've seen.
men between the ages of 20 and 30 are not ready, in most cases, for marriage, are usually not ready to be husbands and fathers.
That's a cultural issue. So, look,
No, I would actually, back to your point, I think it's a biological thing.
So let me get this straight. Men are all trash and won't commit and won't leave mommy's basement, and they're destroying the birth rates. But also young men are biologically incapable of commitment and being parents. What? But wait, there's more! She also believes women don't have to bring anything to the table.
And as a woman, I want a strong man who is a protector and a provider that will go to war if need be, that will protect me, protect my family, make money. But I don't think a man needs to get something out of it to be a manly man, a protector and a provider. If you think you need to get something out of it, I quite frankly don't consider you a real man.
Never before in history have women demanded so much and offered so little. So before we get deeper into this retarded, manufactured...
So women want to go backwards? Are you just trying to find a free ride?
stay-at-home son narrative, let's check the Facebook comments of this Fox News video because I am really interested to see what, like, the typical Fox News viewer thinks about this. If the women are anything like these two, I can hardly blame the men for staying home and not wanting to date them. Blame, blame, blame. These two women have a combined age of 93 and they have 0 children between both of them. You both have repugnant personality types, so listening to this was like male birth control to me. My goodness! Boomers are ruthless! Bunch of sissies. I served 6 years, 2 years in Southeast Asia after Vietnam was over. When I was 18, rent was $450 and I could afford to get my own place. She's so spot on. Nothing screams I'm a loser run from me than a guy living at home in his parents' house with his 12-year-old boy's bedroom decor at age of 30. Thank God we raised our sons to be men, who grew up, lived on their own, found their soulmate, got married, bought a beautiful home, and started a family. I was out the door at 18, worked on the assembly line at Dodge and in the Air Force at 19, never went back home. I can't relate to this. Yes, we know you people can't relate. We know. But the world has changed. Why can't you people get this through your heads? I will never let my sons stay home. I'm trying to push them out of the nest. Okay, I really gotta ask, is this an Anglo thing? Immediately kicking your kid out when they turn 18 years old? My Mediterranean mind cannot comprehend this. And honestly, why the fuck would a man
Mediterranean?
leave home?
Did I hear right?
Immediately kicking your kid out when they turn 18 years old? My Mediterranean mind cannot comprehend this. And
Yo, I'm about to say chat. Viewers, do you guys know what her background is? What, is she Italian? Greek? What's going on? I'm so curious. I'm so curious Mediterranean. Oh my god! I want to hang out with her even more now!
honestly, why the f would a man leave home, leave his mother's cooking, for a woman who probably can't cook? Not me, though. Personally, I can cook amazing homemade meals. I'll have you know I am a great trad wife.
Dino Nuggies! Yo, just want to let y'all know, if you guys are looking for Dino Nuggie merch, mine is coming out this Wednesday! I'm so excited, so please look forward to getting a DipperDog Nuggie shirt, okay? It's gonna be so good! Ow, ow!
Bone apple teeth.
Now, unfortunately, Tommy Lauren wasn't the only one pushing this stupid, lazy young men go get a job bullshit. Mike Johnson did it referencing 29-year-old men playing video games all day. Steve Scalise did it with 35-year-old men playing video games all day.
35-year-old who's sitting in his mom's basement playing video games is going to have to get a job. Okay, so here's the thing. They might be pursuing the content creator goal, the content creator career. Anyone who's striving to be a content creator, I do think you shouldn't just stop working in general. At least work part-time so you still have some kind of income coming in while you try to grow your content creator, you know, gig. The YouTube or the Twitch streaming, and see if it's growing over time, and then make the big jump. Definitely have like money saved on the side when you do make that kind of jump. If you expect things to just blow up on its own by you streaming, you're not gonna make it. You need to be smart and learn how to market too. Anyways, enough of that.
Old men playing video games all day. And just the other night, I saw this on my TV. Again.
A Wall Street Journal headline got our attention. The new dream job for young men, stay-at-home son. It's a phrase that's taken off since 27-year-old Brendan Leo won $59,000 on Jeopardy. And he has a master's degree in political science, but he's unemployed. Grow up, get a job, get a wife, build a family.
Just get a wife, bro. Just get a job, bro.
Oh, get a job?
That's the end goal. Getting a wife, getting a husband, go make babies, have a family. That's the end goal. Always will be. Everyone needs to have the same end goal. Come on, guys.
Yeah, just get a job. Why don't I strap on my job helmet and squeeze down into a job cannon and fire off into jobland, where jobs grow on jobbies?
The term welfare queen must have fell out of fashion with Republicans, because it seems even they know the approved safe demographic to go after now. Because it's very obvious what demographic they are talking about when they say young men in their basements playing video games. This just get a job lazy attitude is not surprising, but it's especially funny coming from Fox News of all places. Fox News that spends so much time yapping about immigrants taking American jobs. Fox News will talk for years about how Americans are being screwed out of the workforce. But when this issue manifests itself in Gen Z, suddenly it's a moral failure. The fact is, a lot of American jobs held by men are being lost to automation, offshoring, and yes, cheap foreign labor. Companies
She's absolutely right. She is absolutely right. Reaching out to other states, not other states, reaching out to other countries for cheap labor, jobs being taken over by AI. I knew there was a limit to my job as an editor because my boss was slowly trying to figure out how to use AI to edit. And I'm like, I see where this is going. It's time to collect and pack up my stuff. I see where this is going. Okay. So yeah, it's not entirely people's fault for not being able to get jobs as more AI programs are getting made that can literally take over some basic job that people can do. It's sad, but the world is changing. The world is absolutely changing in a different way and too fast for people to keep up with sometimes.
And billionaires would rather have cheap labor that they can essentially abuse, not pay fair wages to, just good little worker drones who won't unionize, rather than hire American workers for a living wage. The cheaper the labor they hire, the more money they make. I remember when Bernie Sanders called
They love to make money. I mean, what business person wouldn't? Get rich. That's the goal, isn't it?
open borders a Koch brothers conspiracy.
Open borders?
Foreign aid.
No,
Open borders.
that's a Koch brothers proposal, which says essentially there is no United States.
But
anybody
it
can,
would make a lot of
me.
the global poor richer, wouldn't it?
And it'd make everybody in America poor. Then you're doing away with the concept of a nation state.
Where'd that guy go? A lot of these jobs being taken are jobs traditionally held by men, like construction and factory jobs, manual labor work. But it's not just manual labor jobs, it's also the tech industry and business industry, which are careers also mainly held by men. There are many examples of this, such as Microsoft recently cutting thousands of American workers while requesting 14,000 more H-1B workers this year. Some of those job positions include data scientists, which are 70% men, software developers, which are 80% men, and electronic engineers, which are 90% men, and many more like that. Another example of this was Tesla, where roughly 15,000 American employees were fired in April 2024, and many were replaced with H-1B visa holders. On Twitter, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy tried to chalk this up to these immigrants just simply being the best and the brightest. Yeah, okay. You're paying them less for longer hours and more work, and they're willing to deal with it in order to stay in the country. It's coercive, exploitative, and, dare I say, not very America first. When conservatives confronted Elon Musk for this last year, he told somebody, and I quote, "Take a big step back and yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend."
I'm starting to think the work around this will be motivating more young men and women to build their own business rather than getting a job where they are treated as just a number. There needs to be like some assistance to people building their own business as well, so that way it doesn't just flop within a year. At least that's my take on it. I feel like there needs to be more people capable of running their own business and successfully too, because it sucks having to work for a company where you're just a number, and because you're just a number, you're easily replaced and can get fired just like that.
So when it comes to replacing American workers in manual labor with cheap foreign labor, it's deport, deport, deport. But when it comes to replacing his American workers with cheap foreign labor, it's f yourself in the face. Interesting. There's also affirmative action and DEI, which are other things Fox News always pisses and shits about. But suddenly, when the conversation is about Gen Z men, the demographic of people who are victims of these things, suddenly these things just like don't exist anymore. Then it's, oh, young men are all just lazy. They just want to be in their parents' basement ordering DoorDash and playing video games.
This is like high school mentality. It's like just bullying without actually doing the research of what the problem is. This is insane. Are we forever trapped in high school mentality? This is honestly a little depressing.
Many of the dying industries are male-dominated, while many of the growing industries are female-dominated, and stigma around these jobs being woman jobs usually stops men from working them. Women are overwhelmingly entering and excelling in college and the workforce, and they're more flexible about job position and pay, while young men usually hold out for higher-paying, higher-position jobs that will make them the breadwinner. Because you see, despite the world progressing and the role of women changing, the role of men has not changed. Every woman is a feminist until the dinner bill comes. But what's crazy is, women might be the ones paying that dinner bill soon. A study from the UK found women aged 22 to 29 earned about $1,000 more annually than men, completely reversing the traditional gender pay gap for this age group. In the US, a 2022 Pew Research Center analysis showed that women under 30 out-earned men in many metropolitan areas, with median earnings at or above 100% of men's in cities like New York and Washington, D.C. That may not sound like a lot of money now, but it's a growing trend that has never been seen before.
What job is that? It can't be OnlyFans. I want to know.
So bad that it's really starting to affect the dating world. American women have never been this resigned to staying single. They are responding to major demographic shifts, including huge and growing gender gaps in economic and educational attainment, political affiliation, and beliefs about what family should look like.
I'm taking a very big prediction in the future for entertainment media. My prediction in the future for entertainment is women will now play the role of the breadwinner while the men are basically waiting for women to hit on them and court them. There's going to be an absolute role reversal in romance media. I can see that coming. I can see that coming, just to kind of motivate women to get out there, because now you're making more than the men, so therefore you should be the providers. I don't know. What do you guys think?
More women than men are attending college, buying houses, and focusing on their friendships and careers over dating and marriage. The challenges of finding a romantic partner have been made more complicated by a growing divide in education and career prospects between men and women. In 2024, 40% of American women ages 25 to 34 had a bachelor's degree, according to Pew, compared to 37% of men. A bachelor's degree increases net lifetime earnings by an estimated $1 million. Women are doing comparatively well when it comes to education in their early years in the labor force, and men are doing comparatively badly. Men's economic struggles seem to be having the biggest effect on women without a college degree, whose marriage rates by 45 have plummeted to 52% for those born between 1930 and 1980, according to research by Cornell University. Young men without a degree are struggling so much as a group that there simply aren't enough with steady jobs and earnings for non-college women to date. Men are poor, women most affected. Modern women are no longer tied to their gender role. Birth control has freed them from the prison that is their biology, and they are making their own money, sometimes more than men. They can have it all, they can do anything, they can be anything. While at the same time, men are still expected to be the provider. And more importantly, many men still want to be the provider, but they can't. And women, though strong and independent, still want men to be the provider.
And as a woman, I want a strong man who is a protector and a provider that will go to war if need be, that will protect.
I want to marry a man that's better than me. Not me per se. Anyone can be better than me, but what she's demanding with her standards. Be a millionaire, and the list I said earlier, yada yada yada.
Protect me, protect my family, make money.
Basically, men are like, we're worried we're not making enough money. And women are like, we're worried men are not making enough money. Hello class, I am Miss On Head. I am substituting for your teacher today. She was arrested for molesting a 12-year-old boy. So today we are learning about the graph. This is the growth in productivity versus hourly compensation graph. And you can trace almost everything bad happening in society back to this graph. As you can see, productivity increased while compensation barely grew over the same time period. Notice they tracked very closely up until around 1972. Now, what happened around 1972, class? Well, the top marginal tax rate was reduced from 70% in 1964 to 50% by 1981. The federal minimum wage began.
Anyone following? Because this is all going on one ear, not the other. Not trying to be rude or anything like that. It's just, yeah, I'm not smart.
To 50% by 1981. The federal minimum wage began to stagnate. Income going to the 1% rose from 9% in the 60s to 16% in 2023. CEOs also went from making 20 times more than the average worker to making 350 times more than the average worker. Anything else? Anything else happen around 1972? Yes, Jimmy, that is.
CEOs are getting way too greedy. Fairness, fair compensation.
Correct, women joined the workforce around this time, but we don't have to get into that today.
Wait, did they?
The fact is, hard work no longer guarantees success, and
True.
the will to work is tied to the fruits of your labor. And
I noticed that all the hard work I was putting into, I was just making the CEO of whatever company I was working at more and more money while I got nothing. And then I realized, why am I working my ass off to make this person more money while I get paid the same? Start your own job, work your own job, start your own job, work your own job.
men are fed up today because 90% of that fruit is rotten. Now, is there some truth to modern young people being lazy? Sure, I guess. Every generation had lazy people. And we do basically live in late-stage mouse utopia, after all. Young people today are faced with two options: revolution or escapism. And a lot of them are choosing escapism. Many have basically given up, but it's not like they didn't try. They tried, and they found out the juice just isn't worth the squeeze, whether it's college, dating, or the job market. And in a way, many young men are kind of choosing revolution. The never-before-seen large shift rightward in young men is a small revolution in a way. They're saying, this isn't working for me, this sucks, I hate this, I want something different. This is also manifesting on the Democrat side in general. The young men that are still voting left are voting further left. You saw this recently in New York City, where Zoran Mamdani, a self-proclaimed democratic socialist, won the Democratic primary. Young men are tired of the establishment, left and right. They're tired of the system, and they want to burn it down and start again. They want something that works for them, because this is not working for them.
If you wake up one morning and you find yourself in a society where 23-year-olds with four-year college degrees and like initiative who aren't smoking weed every day, if they can't make enough to buy a car, much less a home, much less get married, much less have children, then why should you be surprised when half of them say they prefer socialism?
Huh. Fox News should hire that guy. There is an entire generation of fighting-aged men who are enraged and feel like they have nothing to live for. You should probably start caring.
Somehow we need to find a way to make financial goals a little bit more attainable.
When they saw this airing on Fox News, they saw an angry woman nagging in their faces about how everything wrong in the world is their fault. An all too familiar thing they have been hearing for far too long. But unfortunately for Democrats, nobody under the age of 60 watches Fox News, so this is not really going to have an effect on young men whatsoever. So keep that $20 million. You might still need it. Unless we get dragged into another war in the Middle East. If we do get dragged into another war in the Middle East, young men might come running back to the Democratic Party. Maybe not. Maybe not even a George Bush II electric boogaloo will have men coming back to the Democratic Party. Hopefully we don't find out. And as I'm editing this right now, a lot of young people, even the podcast bros, seem pretty upset about the Epstein thing, but we know Democrats won't take advantage of the situation in order to protect the Clintons, so maybe not even this will save them, but we'll see, I guess. Hold on one second. That's better. So that was that video. What do you think of the male loser epidemic? Do you agree with Tommy Lauren? Is it all men's fault? Leave your comments below. I read them all. I am probably reading them right now as you type them. Wait, don't write that. No. You can't say that. No, it doesn't matter if it's with an A. If you like this video, please subscribe, and if you can, donate to me on Patreon or leave a little tip with the little tip jar down below. I'll give it a little heart. It helps the channel, and I appreciate it so much. And I will see you guys again soon with a new video, a new slop video, because I know you gremlins love that shit.
Slop, slop, slop. Thank you, Shoe. All right. So, I'd like to think it's a little bit of everything. It's the way it's hard to get your financial gains, to get the the job that gives you the proper salary to live in this world as a single person. There's the internet. There's the bullying about what men should be. So there's I feel like there's a lot of mixed signals now these days. Like, men should be this, men should be that, men should do this, men should do that. There is a smaller pool of where to go pick up somebody, where to meet someone in order to get their number. Yeah, there's just a lot of problems as technology grows. There's just gonna be a lot of problems as technology goes. I think my friend just showed me that Grok has just started an AI companion. So if you don't want to date a real person, you can get yourself a AI girlfriend or AI boyfriend. Meanwhile, I just feel like slinking further and further away in the country and just have a farm and enjoy the animals I'll have in that farm. Nice and peaceful. Alright, don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to sub, like, comment below. Please do not get super political either. I'm not crazy about that. Just keep it light-hearted, like, yeah, it's true, nah, it's not that true. And if you like this video, go check out Shoe0nHead. Other than that, I hope to see you in the next video upload. Thank you, everybody! Have a good one! Bye-bye!